Hello and welcome everybody. I'm Rose Smith from AbsoluteSoulSecrets.com and I've got this week's Pick a Card Weekly Tarot reading. Pick a number now between 1 and 5. I'll do a Psychic Tarot interpretation for you. Okay, don't worry about if you're looking in the future what the date is, because you'll feel it in yourself. If you pay attention to your body, you'll feel it if it's right for you. Let's go to the board now and have a look at these cards. Okay, so we're doing card number 1. Card number 1. What do I see? Oh gosh, it's changing circumstances. There's a vortex of energy spinning around. Just be cautious you don't feel a bit frantic, I guess is the word. However, the positive side of this, you could also feel more energized. You could feel like you've got more vitality, more energy for doing things. There might be things on your plate and you've been tending to them but not really enthusiastically. So you may be feeling a bit more motivated or inspired to get those things crossed off your to-do list. The card that comes up is the Six of Swords. Okay, this is sailing to a new destination. You might not be, really sure what that destination is, but it's moving away from a turbulent time is basically what it's about. Because it's swords, it involves what is going on in your head, your thinking, and you can choose what thoughts you have. So if negative thoughts come in, you can just say thank you, acknowledge them, say thank you, I know you're there, and now I'm focusing on positive outcomes. Okay, sometimes negative situations can lead to positive outcomes, ultimate optimistic new beginnings, and moving away from a low vibrational energy is always a good thing. Okay, if you've picked card number 1, keep your vibration high, and that might mean that you don't associate with negative people, if they're gossiping, if they're bitching and carrying on. And that's not the same as just venting because something's happened and the person is having a vent and letting go of crap. It's not the same as that. It's consistent patterns of negative behaviour is what I'm talking about there. Okay, so move forward with your life and get on with your life. If you pick card number 1, get away from the negative dark stuff. Okay, number 2, card number 2. What do I see? Putting an umbrella up. Okay, so there might be some sad circumstances around you. Again, you don't necessarily have to get involved. It's hard to, if it's somebody you loved, it's hard not to get involved. Of course, it might be your child or your partner or somebody close to you. But there might also be people just in the background that are having some sort of difficulty in their life. And what I'm seeing here is a person putting an umbrella up for protection against the elements. You can protect yourself against, anything that might impact on your life. To some extent you can. Not saying you can always do that, but to some extent you don't have to get involved. The card that comes up for number 2 is the Sun card. Fabulous. A major arcana affects the direction of your life if you pay attention here, but this is insight, awareness. The Sun is the source of all life. It's vitality, it's positivity, it's very Jupiterian, if there's such a word, Jupiterian as in planet Jupiter, and so expansive, radiating warmth and love and affection and even happiness. Okay, sometimes this card brings happiness, and that's what we all want. Sometimes, that might appear in different forms, so it can be outright joy and abundance, or it could be a quieter, more internal sense of contentment with the way things are going. It's also great for your intuition as well. It's just positive right across the board. Okay, and again, a major arcana affects the direction of your life. All right, number 3, card number 3. Oh, here's the cyclone of energy I'm seeing, particularly if you're in Australia. It's similar to number 1, but number 3, it seems like if you've got Australian connections, it's even stronger again. And it's coming towards me, and then it splits into two and it joins up behind me. So yes, there is a cyclone. It can cause damage, but when it gets to me, my energy is such that it splits in two and goes around me and then joins up behind me. So this is saying you are protected if you've picked card number 3, no matter what's going on in your life or in the background of your life or in society. There is spiritual protection here. So just realise that. Ask Archangel Michael for protection if that make you feel better, like you're doing something. However, the protection is there. Okay, the card that comes up is the Ten of Cups. Also, I want that one underneath. I'll have a look at that in a moment. The Ten of Cups, it's like stay at home, don't go out too much, don't socialise too much unless you have people over or you're doing it online. It's like time to be close to home. Try and be a bit more conservative or cautious in your thinking at the moment. It doesn't mean that anything, bad's going to happen or anything like that. It just means it's the best time for staying at home, looking after yourself, looking after your family, dealing with your inner child and, being caring and concerning to your own inner child as well as any physical children that might be around. You may become more interested in cooking or in families generally, but it's a beautiful energy, a loving, caring force in your life, okay? Number four, closing my eyes, what do I see? A new broom sweeps clean. This is a mop. So mopping up mess, somebody else may have made a mess, but you get to clean it up, lucky you. However, if that's the case, don't be too concerned because as you clean, even if it is somebody else's mess, you're cleaning within. So if you view it as cleaning up what's going on in your subconscious, you'll get some benefit out of it. Okay, the card that comes up for number 4 is... I meant to look at the second card. I'm going to draw a second card for number 3. Number 4, the card is the Fool. Step out, take a risk, and either way, whether it succeeds or whether it fails, it doesn't really matter. The point is the journey is the most important factor. You are going on a new journey. Some people, friends or family, may be trying to hold you back. But that should not stop you from living your life and going on your journey, taking action and growing. She's about to step off the promontory here, and this could indicate that she either sprouts wings and flies or she ends up in the drink. But here in the ocean, there are sunken treasures anyway. So even if the venture doesn't work out, there's still the experience and growth to come from learning what has happened, okay? And you might find yourself with a new sense of self-confidence. You might find yourself with new skills, and this could set you up for something even better, okay? Major Arcana, you can change your life if you've picked card number 4. Back to number 3 again, okay, because the second card that I didn't pick, that I got sidetracked. Oh my God, what does this mean? This is bizarre. A woman in a fur coat, like from the 1930s or 1940s, with a head chopped off, which is not great to see, but then she sprouts a new head. So this says to me that she had a rather luxurious way of thinking before. Maybe she wasn't entirely grounded. She might have been... sort of too comfortable and not moving forward enough, and comfortable in her own situation without putting any extra effort or any time or focus into improving her situation. And then she grows a new head, which is new ideas, new thoughts coming through. She takes off that old fur coat. It's got a fox collar on it, which is a very dated thing nowadays. She takes that off and she's instantly younger. She takes 20 years off her age by taking that old coat off, and she's catapulting herself into the future. That's what you should be doing if you've picked card number 3. Mars goes into Aquarius tomorrow, I think, or the next day, in the next 2 days. And that's all about energy for technology. There's a lot of boldness, there's a lot of force moving ahead, very energetic in Aquarian type matters, okay? This is particularly relevant if you pick card number 3. The card that comes up is the Four of Pentacles. You're going to be working with your money in order to be able to pull things off with this venture. Yes, it might be tricky. You may need to, watch your pennies. It's easy to overspend on something that you may think is worthwhile, but it's not necessarily worthwhile. But I feel this is particularly related to work, and maybe you think about getting a new job, doing things in a new way, but the money is the issue. So be clever in the way you spend your money. There could be some sort of challenges there, and you're basically looking at it and thinking quite logically, which is a good thing, and finding a way through the situation, especially a difficult financial situation. There's a pathway through, so you can do it. Okay, that's the second card for number 3. Number 5, we're up to. Number 5, what do I see for number 5? Number 5, okay, there's a big, huge tree here like a Californian redwood, and there's little squirrels running around up and down the tree, and there's like a hole, and it's the house of the squirrels. And I'm thinking it means a tree. It's either yourself or your family tree, and putting nuts away for the winter. So again, it's not the time to overspend if you pick card number 5. It is the time to save some money and to organise yourself and not to be wasteful, okay? And there's all sorts of ways you can do that. I hadn't thought of this before, but just reminds me, I grow corn for my chickens because I don't eat it, but my chickens eat it. So I did buy a punnet of seedlings. And rather than go out and buy another punnet of corn seedlings at the grand price of $2.45 or whatever it is, $2.95 I think, I put some ears of corn into a bucket of water and they've sprouted. So now I've got, I don't know how many, 50 little corn sprouts like this long. And I'm now going to regrow those. Right. So there's lots of little ways you can save money. I didn't do it to save money. I just did it because it was there in front of me and I didn't have to drive to town because I don't live in town, I didn't have to drive to town to grow more corn. So there's lots of practical considerations that you can, think about in order to make your life a little easier, but also save money in the process. The card that comes up is the King of Swords. This is someone who can be a little bit ruthless. You may have to be like this yourself in some way. It's somebody who is very, very logical and really thinks about all the pros and cons. If I drive to town, will cost X amount, will take X amount of time to drive to town to go and find the corn, and then I have to look online to see if they've even got the corn, or ring them up and see have they got corn seedlings. So it's all these sorts of things, and it's like, just do it myself. It's easier than driving in there. But there's a ruthlessness and a real strong practicality with this. Because growing corn doesn't involve anybody else, I'm not putting it out at another person and being abrupt or ruthless with another person. I'm not even being like that to myself. It's just practical logic, okay? But the downside is a ruthlessness. So sometimes this can be like a lawyer who is in a case and thinks up all manner of ways that they can, get the other side. But they're like this because they've done the hard yards and they've been through a lot of circumstances in the past, which has basically taken them down this ruthless track. Okay, the important thing is, in most situations, to run your decisions through a human heart, if you're dealing with other people or even yourself, so that you can be kind and compassionate. That's far more important. But good ideas with this. Okay, this could be you, or it could be someone that you're dealing with, number 5. Okay, so that's our 6 cards for this week. We've got 2 major arcana, more or less a normal sort of week with swords, pentacles, cups, and more swords. So maybe a slight emphasis on being practical this week for many people. And, you might be, just to give you an idea of what I'm doing, I'm just pulling out all the plants in my garden. And yeah, there is a ruthlessness involved in that, in pulling out the old vegetable plants, that have given me vegetables, and preparing the bed for the next lot of new seedlings. So at least I can give the old plants to the chickens, but part of me feels like, oh, they've, given me their vegetables, leave them there a bit longer kind of thing, So these are all ideas for you to consider. All right. Have a fabulous week, everyone. And don't forget, leave a like and a comment. That would be grand. But do enjoy your week. I'll see you all again soon. Thanks and bye for now. Thanks so much for watching. Please visit my website, absolutesoulsecrets.com, for all things spiritual. Have a lovely day.